Hi friends, Terry here from Anchor Realty in Panama City Beach. We're continuing on today with our first time home buyer series, and this is video number 2, which is some steps to successful home ownership. First thing I want to talk about is how to slay the credit and money dragons. When you go to buy your first home, what everyone is thinking about is, what about my credit? What about my money? And the key to slaying those dragons is to get pre-approval for home financing. So your credit score matters. But let me tell you, where you are now is more important than where you've been. Life events may have impacted you. Things like death, divorce, disability. It happens to everyone, but don't let that keep you down. You can write a credit letter explaining any past events that may have affected your credit and be forgiven for that. But you have to get back on track and stabilize for a while before you go to buy a home. So what is a credit score? Everybody talks about a credit score. Credit score, simply stated, is a history of your balances that you owe to people and the payments that you make. So there are 3 credit unions: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And when you apply for financing to buy a home, your lender uses your credit score. Some use the average of all the scores. Some use the lowest, 2 lowest, some use the 2 highest. And they do this for every person applying for home financing, such as husband and wife. So I'm going to leave you some links and references in this video description that will show you where the credit unions are and how to get a credit score. So I hope you'll find that helpful. How to improve your credit score. So the lenders usually want a 640 score or higher. There may be some that are a little bit lower, but the majority of lenders want 640 or higher. And like down payment assistance programs in Florida, nearly all want a 640 score or higher. The most important thing to improve your credit score is to make your payments on time. Don't have any late payments. And if you have credit cards, pay a little extra more than the minimum amount that they're asking for every month on your credit card, because that amount is just about enough to pay the interest and it doesn't pay down your balance very much. So if you send a little bit extra every month, your balance will come down and your credit score will improve. You can dispute credit score errors. So if there's something on your credit report that you don't agree with, it wasn't you, it was someone else, we can talk about that, and there are ways that you can dispute those errors and have them removed, which could improve your credit score. Don't open any new credit. So while you're on this journey and you're saving and you're working towards improving your credit score and getting approved for financing, you don't want to go make any new credit. So keep it stable. Don't go buy a new car or open new credit cards while you're in this process. Have a little patience, just wait a little bit, and you'll have your new home. So financing, you're ready to apply for financing, and this is what your lender is going to need. First off, they're going to need to verify your income. They want W-2s, 1099s, pay stubs, tax returns, possibly all of these, at least some of these. Every lender asks for different things, but this is what you can expect. So have those documents ready. They're going to ask for all your bank account statements, checking, savings, and if you have other types of 401ks and things like that, they would probably like to see that. That's part of your assets. They're going to want to know what you owe. And it's going to be things like credit cards, student loans, car loans, installment loans, because that's part of what determines your credit. It also determines something called your debt to income ratio. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that in future videos, but making sure that your debts are not so high that they consume all of your income. You want a healthy debt to income ratio. They don't so much look at things like medical bills or utility bills and so forth. It's really hard loans, something where you sign and you borrowed money. When you're applying for that loan, make sure you provide exactly what is asked for, no more and no less. So if they ask for 4 weeks of pay stubs, give them 4 weeks of pay stubs, not 8. The lender will do a hard hit on your credit report. So they'll send an inquiry out to Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian asking for your credit information. And that does lower your credit score temporarily for a little while, that the fact that there's been a hard hit. However, if you decide to shop around for mortgages and you're shopping rate with 2 or 3 lenders, you can apply with more lenders within a 30-day period, and those hard hits on your credit will not impact your score. So you're not going to get penalized because you're shopping around with 2 or 3 different mortgage companies. So that's a good thing. If you've changed jobs a lot, that can have an effect, but not so much if it's in the same line of work. So if you're a carpenter and you've worked at 3 or 4 different builders or whatever, and but you've always done carpentry or plumbing or electrician, that's okay. So if in the same line of employment, don't worry about your work history. If you're self-employed, they're going to want 2 years of 1099s. So, and you have to be prepared. You have to be honest, because you're going to certify that these are the money that I make and the payments that I make. And it helps the lender to be able to figure out, do you make enough to afford a home, and how much of a home? So at the end of that, what you end up with is a pre-approval. The pre-approval takes into account how much money you have and what you owe, and tells you how much home you can buy. So when you go out shopping for a home, you can be very confident that you're pre-approved for that amount. So that's the end of this video today. But you know what? If you're in a hurry, you think you're ready, and you need a crash course in first-time home ownership, just call me and I'll work with you. We'll give you the whole video in advance, and you can be well on your way to earning your first home. This is Terry. You have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.